It
to have
looks
been
like a little cream egg could just sit inside there, or a proper
exactly,
egg,
or a proper egg, yeah.
So
Um,
a little egg goes in there.
yeah, a little egg, and they'll build. They would have built a new one the next year. You
Right,
know,
and so they've
um,
and so then this was obviously, found after it's just an abandoned nest really,
yeah,
isn't it?
exactly, yeah.
And what do these birds look like? Are they small, big,
Reed warblers are really small. They're a
tiny?
blooming nightmare to identify. Essentially, you call them. I'm not really a bird specialist. That's not my background. But you call if you're a birdie, you might call a brown like that an LBJ or a little brown job,
A
which
little
basically just
brown
means
job.
a little brown bird. Oh, blooming it! What was that? It just flew past really fast.
Real quick.
But reed warblers, what they do have, it's clues in the name warbling. They've got a very distinctive song. Sounds quite scratchy. You
Ah,
can use these days. They're not a fail-safe, but if people out there are interested in birdsong, there's some really good apps. One in particular called Merlin. Merlin. There's another
no
one called
way.
BirdNet.
Oh, wow.
Um,
So it can
it
identify
can identify them,
it's like a
and
Shazam for
yeah, like
birds.
Shazam for birds, exactly. So you can record it yourself, and then it will identify what birds are in the area. It's not fail-safe, because sometimes it will get it wrong.
Of
And
course.
obviously, there's no substitute for having that knowledge yourself, but it's a brilliant, brilliant tool.
I
And these
love
these
that.
things are only going to get better. It
What
uses AI, so
what kind of other apps are you using now? Because I mean, yeah, you must use loads of apps to do this stuff.
yeah. So we also have there's a couple of apps called iRecord and iNaturalist. We don't tend to use these for ID. You can, but what we usually use these for is submitting records. So say I'm out on the beach and I see an ormer. I see an ormer um, in a place whatever where unusual or normal to see them. I can take a photo of it. I can then go on my iRecord app. I put that photo on it. I say I was at Clonk on this date. I saw this one, and I might make a note. I might say, oh, and it had a tag. It was tag A831. That then goes off whoosh, into a national database across the whole of the UK. It will feed back into the Alderney Record Centre as well. And then if anyone ever wants to look at like where ormers are found in the country, your little record will be there that ormers
Wow.
are there. And you can do the same for, plants and, loads of different things like
So
that.
everyone can get involved.
Yeah, everyone can get
What's
involved.
the name of this app then? iRecord?
So there's a couple. There's iNaturalist. So iNaturalist, like Darwin naturalist. And then there's iRecord as well.
Which one would you like people to use?
Most of my colleagues would say iNaturalist. They prefer it. I prefer iRecord.
Are they all part of the same database though? Would they
Yeah,
all?
so they'll all submit to the same. The
That's
main
cool.
difference, so there's the main difference between the two is that iNaturalist, I think you like submit your records and then lots of people can comment and say if they agree if you were correct in
Oh,
identifying it,
great.
which is like sounds it, but it's actually very useful
Yeah,
because
of course.
often like we'll submit records and we'll go, I think it's this, especially if it's something in the marine world where some of these things you need a microscope to ID
Yeah,
them.
yeah, of course.
And you might only ID it to kind of a genus level, so you'll say it's part of that family, bit like IDing us and say, oh, it's a kind of monkey, I'm not sure what,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, yeah.
Um, so that can be very useful. iRecord is a bit different. It doesn't have that like community side of things. You'll just get a verifier will come through and they'll say yes or no, and they'll give you an explanation.
So you prefer
Um,
iRecord probably because it's quicker
to be honest,
and
I, I,
just
I prefer iRecord because it was the one I downloaded first.
classic. That's
I
absolute
think
classic.
I think iNaturalist probably has some merits, but
Okay, well I'm gonna download it after this. I'm gonna start
100%.
taking
And
part.
so when you do that, it'll go to national databases like the National Biodiversity Centre. Then we've set up, and it's been a long time coming, and there's been work going on for a number of years. But one of my colleagues, Matt, has done a lot of work on this, and we've got an Alderney Record Centre. So that then gathers in all of the data which is coming from the UK about Alderney and gathers it back up for Alderney. So if say you're interested in how many owls have been seen here, you could send a request to the Alderney Record Centre and we'd be able to tell
Wow.
you how many owls in where they were. Only thing being said, if it's a sensitive species, sensitive records are sometimes protected,
Hidden in
etc.
the
Yeah,
hidden
like a
files.
peregrine falcon nest or whatever,
Oh
because
wow.
people still unfortunately like to nick eggs sometimes.
Really? Okay, so
Oh
do
yeah.
we have falcons in Alderney?
We've got a few species of falcon. So we've got
Big birds.
some big, some very little. So we've got kestrels, which are the small ones you see hovering, beautiful, orange, kind of rusty colored back. Really beautiful birds, and they hover. So if you see a small bird, medium to small bird hovering, it's going to be a kestrel. We then have peregrine falcons. You know,
Cool.
peregrines, incredible, fastest animal in the world. I think it's something like 250 miles an hour they go, maybe a bit faster. And
And
you
they
also,
and they dive bomb just like the gannets,
yeah.
but don't obviously
But they don't
hit
go
the
to sea.
ground.
They catch stuff, so they are amazing. And yeah, amazing predators. You'll see them if you walk the south coast or anywhere. To be honest, you'll see peregrines. They're here all year round.
I love
Um,
that. So they're
yeah.
proper olden birds.
Yeah. And then we've got a number of other birds of prey. So we have sparrowhawks as well, which aren't a true falcon, but they're very similar. They just evolved from a different group of birds.
Mhm.
Sparrowhawks are like they're like the velociraptor of the bird world, you know, right? So they've got shorter wings, and they'll even chase stuff by running. What they're built for is chasing small birds through like wood and
Oh
undergrowth. So
no,
if
that's
you're sitting in your
oh,
garden, looking at birds on a bird feeder, and a bird comes through and takes a small bird, and you know, it's come from like the side, especially, good chance it's a sparrowhawk.
that's
And
kind
that
of cool.
it might seem sad, but it's kind of cool.
It's nature,
And
man. You
well,
know.
and thing is, those, you know, when we talk about like predators in nature, they tend, okay, sometimes they will take the fittest birds, as in the healthiest, but usually they're going to take the weak ones. They're going to take the young ones that aren't, you know, aren't just cut out for it.